Southern Indiana head coach Eric Schoenstein. In your ninth season at Southern Indiana, Coach, your team fell in a second round match at the OVC championships last season. How does that help kind of fuel your team, to come back into this season?
It was a great season last year. We were very pleased with how everything went. Obviously, in our first year at Division One, we finished eighth, made the tournament, lost in the first round, and then the second year we finished tied for third. We were able to host the quarterfinal, which was a massive accomplishment. Only in the second year at D1. So we played in a rain-soaked, heavy downpour hosting match on grass field. It was a mud fest. We lost to the team that was better on that day, Arkansas Little Rock. They outplayed us that day at our home site, but that only motivated us going into the spring season for us to work on multiple activities. Working on style of play, working on just getting better tactically and technically. But they're really motivated to continue to improve each day. We feel like we're in a 4-year process, but within that 4-year process, our focus is just getting better each day, doing it the right way, not trying to skip steps. And for us, it was just a great second year to coming off a tough non-conference season and then getting into to host a quarterfinal. I mean, that was just such an amazing experience for the kids. They were so excited about that, and we just got beat by a better team on that day, and that has motivated them to continue to press. And our theme is just get better each day, just get better each day. And if we do that, then the results take care of themselves.
Okay. Well, Coach, what are some of the things that you like most about your team right now, and what are some of their strengths?
Oh, I guess the leadership on this team is incredible. We've got a great deal of returning players. We lost 3 starters, 4 starters from last year, but we start a lot of kids through injuries or just through various other reasons. So we have a great deal of depth coming back. But it's the commitment. They work hard each day. Honestly, the culture is phenomenal. They play for each other. They care about each other, and they pick each other up. So there's not any bickering or anything like that on the pitch. It's more of like supportive. We always say mistakes of effort are always acceptable. Just go out there and try your best each day. And they do that, but they pick each other up. They don't get down on mistakes. They learn from them. When on their successes, they learn from them. And what I love about this team is their versatility. Right now, we graduated a couple backs. We had a couple backs get hurt. And, we're sitting there with like 3 midfielders that are playing in the back, and they're doing incredible. So one of the greatest things about our roster, I think, is the versatility of the players we've recruited, the players that are on our current roster. Like, we've got about 13 or 14 upperclassmen, and that's honestly one of the oldest teams we've ever had here. Just from the transition from 2 to 1 and for et cetera, it's been really fun to watch them develop. So one of the greatest things is the versatility. I mean, we could sit there and take a wide forward, put her outside back, holding mid, drop them into the back line, a target forward, drop into midfield. And the versatility has been an incredible way of showing how much they just buy in, they believe in themselves, and they trust each other.
Well, Coach, I want to talk about a couple of your players. Starting off first with Maggie Dugan, the team captain. Unfortunately, last year had a season-ending injury, but was a huge part of your defense in 2022. You get her back, and how do you look to her to kind of help lead this team as well as others to help lead the squad?
Losing Maggie last year in the 4th game was a big loss. We always say that she was our engine. She made the midfield run. She made the team run in general. And losing her was such a big loss. Which made our accomplishments without her last year even more incredible. But her leadership skills, her movement off the ball. I mean, we talk about Peyton Murphy, who runs 8 miles in a game. And you're sitting there and you're watching Maggie playing that midfield spot, probably running 7.5 miles in a game. So her communication, her leadership, she scores a couple goals every year. But honestly, that's not what makes her so important. Her leadership skills, her togetherness skills, how she keeps the freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors all cohesive and connected. And then you're not going to find her harder worker. I mean, she's only about 5'3", but she wins every head ball. She wins every tackle. She doesn't get knocked off the ball. Her distribution is spot on. So she's that player you love to have on your team, and that you hate if she's on the other team because of her work rate and her tenacity. Just absolutely incredible athlete, and leadership-wise, goodness. And she's the team comedian, which is always good, right? So if you need that player to kind of calm things down, tell that joke right before a game when everybody's a little bit nervous before the first game of the year, she's that player to keep everybody loose, to keep everybody up.
Coach, that's awesome to hear about Maggie. But can you tell us about some other key players to watch this season, and maybe even some newcomers that are coming in?
Oh, yeah. So obviously we have Anna Marklin returning as the OVC Keeper of the Year, which was an amazing accomplishment. Obviously being a freshman and then being the OVC Keeper of the Year was incredible. So she's returning and she's looking good in preseason. We've got Charlie Grafton, center back, second team All OVC last year. She's back, doing extremely well, having another off to a good start. Bryn Quick, outside right back, didn't play a lot. Her freshman year came in and started 16 out of 18 games, and honestly was our best player in the spring. We try to build our team from the back up, so we focus a lot on defending. And then obviously we talked about Maggie. Then we got Peyton Murphy, who started every game of her career in midfield. Probably averages over 1,700 minutes a season. She's back for her junior year, and this is shockingly, but she's in better shape than her first 2 years. And I don't know how you can do that when you're sitting there and you've played 1,700 minutes, and she's in better shape this year. So that's absolutely incredible that she's doing that. And then up top, we've added some key freshmen, Josie, out of Chicago's left-sided player who's extremely talented and score goals. We've got Gabby through midfield. We have another kid from Chicago, Brittany, who's going to come in and play in a center back position. It's just doing an incredible job. But the one thing we focus in on is that we focus in on developing our freshmen so that by the time they're sophomores, they're stepping in and playing 90 minutes. And we've got like Greta O'Ryan. I keep saying Chicago must recruit out of Chicago a lot. But I have another kid out of Chicago who's playing on that side as a sophomore, who's doing an incredible job up and down the sidelines. And, Dylan out of Ohio, coming in as a sophomore and trying to take some minutes in the back, and Cam coming in the back and taking up minutes. So we've got all these players that have been developing through the spring that actually you talk about exciting new players. And we're talking about a lot of sophomores who didn't see a lot of time last year, but they spent a year developing and growing, building as players and expect big minutes out of sophomores. And, we've got freshmen that are stepping in right away, like Josie and Gabby and Brittany, that are having great springs. I mean, great springs so far. And then I didn't even mention our returning goal scorer, Pilar, as a freshman, was our returning goal scorer. And, out of California, and she's back for a second year and playing that midfield spot and looks fresher and sharp as ever. So it's so exciting. I was doing a radio interview about 3 weeks ago, and got so excited. I was like, the only way this messes up is if I screw it up. Honestly, if I don't put the people in the right spots, that's the only way it doesn't go well, because of the amount of talent. Obviously, health is always a big concern at this level, trying to keep your team healthy, keep them fresh. But if we can do that, it's on me. The players are there, they're busting their tail, they're working hard. It's on me to make this thing work.
Well, Coach, when you really pinpointed down in that sense, but we don't want to put it just all on you. So I am going to ask, what is that one thing that you feel that your team needs to, to be able to make a run at the conference title this season?
One word: finishing. It's come down to that. In our first 2 years of Division One, we've been lucky to be very solid defensively and very organized defensively, and we've just missed opportunities, missed games, because we couldn't put the ball in the back of the net, and we created a ton of chances. I mean, we're averaging anywhere from 12 to 15 chances or shots on frame, and either tying 0-0 or losing 1-0 or winning 1-0. So it really, honestly, for us, it comes down to finishing. The other word I would use is stay healthy. Stay healthy. If we can stay healthy and we can finish, we're going to be very dangerous this year. I mean, this conference is so incredibly strong. I mean, from team 1 to team 10 can win on any day. When we went from 8th to 3rd last year, there's no reason anybody in our conference can't do that. And that's what makes this conference so incredible as a women's soccer conference. But for us, it truly is about finishing and staying healthy. We do those two things, we're going to be dangerous this year.
Well, Coach, looking at your preseason schedule, which begins very soon here, and it's a nice, all solid schedule that includes teams like Robert Morris and Miami of Ohio, and can you talk a little bit about putting together that schedule, as well as how you look at that to help prepare you for the regular season?
I think it's incredibly important to put a non-conference schedule that's difficult. And from the moment we entered D1, that's what I said I was going to do, is I was going to make our non-conference as difficult as possible. We weren't going to be any D2 or NAIs. We're going to go straight D1s, mid-majors, high mid-major teams, that are in difficult conferences, so that we are prepared for conference. Because for us, the NCAA tournament is the OVC tournament. So for us, we want to make sure that we're prepared. And our non-conference, like we only won one game in a non-conference last year. And then we got in the OVC and we went on a 3-game winning streak. And it was because our non-conference was so difficult that we had built that confidence to then go into OVC play. So out of the gate, we're playing at Arkansas State. That's a difficult game to open the season on the road. They're historically a tournament team. Robert Morris, top 4, our home opener, top 4 in our conference last year. Eastern Kentucky, Northern Illinois, Wright State, Purdue, Fort Wayne, Austin Peay, Miami, Ohio, another powerhouse, program. So that is our philosophy, is that we want to make our non-conference as difficult as possible. So we get to the conference play, we're ready to go. It's tournament time. We view our regular season as kind of like our conference tournament, and the conference tournament is kind of our NCAA tournament. So that's kind of our mindset. So that's why our non-conference for us is solely there to prepare us for conference play. And that's why we make it so difficult. I mean, we're on the road for, 5 of our 9. We're at home for 4 of them. We wanted to be as difficult as possible so that they are ready to go. And we felt like that worked for us last year. We thought that that's why we're so successful, because our conference, like I said before, is so difficult. You got to be ready. If you're not ready to play in the OVC, you're not going to do well. So that's why you have to have a difficult non-conference schedule. And that's why we started off as difficult as we did with our conference play.
Southern Indiana head coach Eric Schoenstein. Coach, thank you very much for your time today. Definitely wish you the best of luck this season.
Thanks for having me. Enjoy it, and good luck with everything.